What's going on, guys? Welcome to the Sub Podcast, episode 112. You know where the players dwell. That's right. I'm sorry. I'm one of your hosts, Chris Cheney. Across from me, virtually, we have Lawrence Deloge and Luke Trevisi. What's up going on, guys?
How's it going, guys?
And we have two very special guests. They're brothers that I used to work with back in my Echo days. Now they've gone off and made me feel like I'm not doing anything with my career as they're crushing it. But we have my big bros, part mentors, you know, guys that I look up to. We have Romeo Raphael Tanghal. What's going on, guys?
Good.
What's up?
Good. We're on different coasts.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Ro ran away. Ro went to he abandoned New York for everything that it was to him.
Hey.
And where are you exactly now? Long Beach?
I am in LA.
Oh, LA. All right, cool.
Okay.
That's what's up, man. So Ro's over working at Huff right now. Then we got contrasting. Raph is still here, and he's at LV, back at it again. And how's this quarantine been going for you guys? Catch me up. What's been happening with you guys, and how this has been going?
I'll let him go first.
It's been going good, man. I'm, quarantining.
Mm-hmm.
I have a lot of forced quality time with the kids. So it's been going good. I need a haircut really bad, but I'm not going to protest about it.
I feel that.
We'll hold off. But yeah.
I think we can all use haircuts right now. You know,
For real.
So yeah, man.
For the audio listeners, Lawrence really looks like he's just been casted for Trading Day. He's looking great. Young Denzel Washington up here.
I haven't had a haircut in around 8 weeks now, so it's the longest ever. I haven't shaved. I haven't done anything, so
I feel you.
Yeah. So Ro, you're on the West Coast. Raphael, you're on the East Coast.
Yeah, I'm in Brooklyn.
You're in Brooklyn. Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
And how's quarantine been going for you?
It's not. I mean, I work from home mostly anyway, but just a lot more responsibilities now. Like my girl's trying to finish this semester of grad school, so I'm pretty much like a house husband.
Okay.
I cook, I clean, I take care of the dog.
Yeah.
And then I start my work day around like 10 p.m. So,
Is that why you went back to? Is that why you went back to LV? Is because you got in trouble with the girlfriend?
Oh no, that was like a whole other thing. It's kind of like economics.
Where
It's kind
just
of
trying
like
to secure the bag. I got you.
Exactly.
Bro, how long have you been working from home? Like, when did they tell you that you could stay home and kind of hang out?
Dude, what? I don't know. I can't even remember. I don't even know what day it is right now. I know it's Mother's Day. That's about it. But
Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day, guys.
Thank you.
All the mothers wearing Yeezys out there. Happy Mother's Day.
Yeah. And Filas.
And feel it.
I don't even remember. As soon as it started in LA, we were cut off. So I've been fortunate to be working from home, but I'm playing teacher as well. It's crazy. Can't wait to get back in the office.
I didn't even think about that. What are you teaching? Because you have to probably relearn it in order to teach it.
No, man. I got a 5-year-old and a 3-year-old, so it's just,
all right. Yeah, that's right.
They're just reading. They're reading.
Wow, that's great. For some reason, I thought they were older, but now that I'm thinking about it, the baby shower wasn't even that long ago.
No, you were there. Yeah, in Brooklyn. Yeah, I've been gone for 5 years. Time flew, but it's been 5 years.
That's really crazy.
Crazy.
I've been keeping increments of the MJ doc as how long that we've been doing this. So we're episode
late, though, right?
7 and 8 in. So that's a
lot. You got to add Tiger King or something.
Shit, I got a lot to catch up on.
So every week we record on Sunday. We record like an hour and a half before the new episodes of the Last Dance doc. We talk about it every week. What was last week? Episode 5 and 6. One of the main things that was said in episode 5 was Jordan's inability or his non-committal stance on public issues, mainly being one of those where there was a Senate race with an incumbent senator. I forgot his name, but he went up against a black senator or a guy who wanted to take his seat. and they were like, Jordan, take a stance, and he was like, hey, Republicans buy sneakers too, and he didn't, and he was heavily criticized for that. It also was like it felt like an ad. You like some of that part of the episode, like it was like a Jordan 1 ad. Like it was definitely, but it brought back a lot of memories for those sneakers. I don't know how, if you guys are, into the Jordan 1, but do you guys have any memories of those sneakers?
I didn't. I think my first Jordan was a Jordan 4. So I don't really remember.
Yeah, you had the military blues. Yeah.
I had the military blues when I was a kid. But before that, I don't think I really knew. I knew of the Jordans, but I just never. I was too young. I was. What year did the Jordan 1s come out?
What 84, 84, 85?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I was 4 years old, so I wasn't.
No, ones are my favorite Jordan, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Like the only one with the swoosh. Well, only one that used to have the swoosh.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'll go grab mine. You want to see them?
Yeah, please do.
Wait, the originals, bro? You got the OGs?
No. They're retros.
Oh, okay.
But
Yeah, there you go. Boom.
Old school ones, the out of 5,000.
Look at him trying to flex on us like that. Yeah, we get it.
Oh, he set up his camera next to his closet.
Oh. Raph, do you need to go to the bathroom for like 5 minutes?
Just come back with boxes.
We just have a flex contest between brothers.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna go through all of them. There's a bunch back there.
He was like growing up. He was always because he's 2 years older than me, so he was the guy who was always putting me onto things. So like with Jordans and stuff, it's like I'm not like I wasn't like a kid in third grade like, oh, I need these Jordans. It's like I just want whatever my brother wanted. So that's probably why he probably picked out those military 4s for me.
They were grade school size and they didn't have my size, so I was like, you need to get these.
That's hilarious. Well, I guess I'll hook my brother up. Yeah, I guess I'll make him look good.
Yeah.
But wait, just let's talk about that for a second, because I met you guys at Echo together, right?
Yeah.
So you talking about Raph, you talking about like doing what your brother wanted to do. How did you guys end up at the same place? Like, how long was one of you guys there before the other? Like, not to hop around for a second, but just to get that story out of the way.
I think, well, I actually graduated school before him, even though he's 2 years older. But we both went to the same school. We went to Pratt Institute in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
He was studying graphic design, I think, and I was doing animation, traditional animation. And after I graduated, I was working in animation for a bit. Funny story, I was working in animation until my boss got arrested for trying to hook up with a 13-year-old or something like that.
Oh,
animation dudes are weird.
Yeah. So after that, I was like, fuck, man. And like, I mean, I knew animation, like there was a lot of like creepiness in animation, but after that,
2D over 3D, baby.
Yeah. After that, I had to like, I got out of, I got out of animation. After that,
that's like a real thing though. Like the dude from Ren and Stimpy, he got in trouble too, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Same reason.
Stuff like that. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So then after that, I started working in the only thing that was really hiring in New York for like illustrators was streetwear.
Mm-hmm.
So I got my first job at you guys remember 555 Soul?
Of course.
Yes, I do.
I do not.
Yeah.
It was before my
555 Soul was like I think it was one of the like first kind of streetwear brands in New York.
Mm-hmm.
Started in I think 89.
Oh shit.
They had a store that was like 2 stores away from Supreme, where Supreme was.
Oh.
For a long time, and then they used to do a couple of things like with their bags and outerwear and stuff. They used to have art shows in that store. They used to, I think that was like their first Banksy show. Yeah, it was in a store in 555 Soul.
Wow.
Wait, really? Wow.
Yeah, I remember them setting that shit up. I was like, oh, that's why I first heard about Banksy. And then so yeah, I was at 555 Soul, and my brother I think was interning at Echo.
Yeah, I was interning. It was my senior year in college, and then they kind of hired me before I graduated. So, they were looking for other people, and I brought him.
Yeah.
Nice.
We had friends who worked at Echo. Like I think Ewok at the time was like one of the head illustrators there.
I mean, that place is such a revolving door of amazing people to go in and out. I feel like everyone's worked there at least for one point in time. If you've been in New York and you've been a designer.
Yeah,
definitely like this school of hard knocks back then.
Yeah.
Every streetwear brand started from there or had some kind of ties there.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think he started there, and then I think I started maybe a year after you were at Echo. You brought me in.
Yep.
I did actually, before I was working there, I did like an album cover. You guys were he was in a department where they would do like album covers and posters for like rap groups.
Mm-hmm.
So they had like Duck Down, they had like Sean Price and like Buckshot and like who was it? Ninth Wonder.
Yeah.
And like Tech and Steel and Smith and Wesson.
Yeah, you guys did the Chemistry album cover?
We did the three together. So it was Chemistry, Reloaded, and Monkey Bars.
Oh, nice.
Actually, the drawing is right there.
Oh.
Oh, hell yeah.
But,
that's cool.
Yeah, so I grab it.
Yeah,
but it was like,
what was that blurry thing back there?
So it's like,
oh.
So it was like, I did this when I was at 555, because my brother was like, oh, we're doing these album covers for these rappers. It's like, oh, I'll do it. I don't even think I got paid.
No, you did it. I did it. That was part of my junior design salary.
Yeah, I did it for free.
Did it for the props. Yeah.
And then I used it, and then I think I used it in my portfolio to get hired like 6 months later.
Yeah, for sure.
So it worked out.
That's so funny. That's wild. So I didn't know any of that. That was a great story. Thanks for doing that. Because I met you guys when the ship was really, really going down. Like, wow. I jumped literally on the Titanic.
Yeah, man, I did. Yeah, you were in our like fourth office by then.
Yeah.
One day, you had like sticky notes on your desk.
Yeah.
Like invite coworkers to the comedy show or something like that. It was like, yeah.
Ask
funny.
someone
Like,
to hang out with me.
Yeah.
Please, someone pretend to like my jokes. Please. Oh my God.
Wait, you were doing comedy back then too?
I started at Echo, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, very horrific, bad shit. It was not good. That's why I didn't tell a lot of you guys early on. But yeah, that's like when I started.
I also saw that you guys, your dad was the inker for New Teen Titans back in the day.
Yeah.
Wow. We did a bunch of cartoons. Yeah, he did a bunch of comics. He did Green Lantern, Batman, Thor, Fantastic Four, like Wonder Woman.
Where
he was with George Perez for a long time.
Yeah. Very cool.
And then he worked on a bunch of cartoons like Transformers and G.I. Joe.
Yeah,
stuff back in the day.
All that fun stuff from back in the day. Did that stuff like influence you a lot growing up as far as like designers? Like, do you have like a big comic book reference portfolio kind of?
I would say we started off doing that, like doing a lot of comic art. I mean, that's around the time when, like, all those guys became big, like Jim Lee and like McFarlane and all these guys, Liefeld and Image became huge.
Right.
So I remember just like us in like middle school, like drawing like that.
Yeah.
Learning how to ink and do all these things. So, but as we went to school, it was kind of like, you learn about other stuff.
Right. You just get into other stuff.
Yeah.
Very cool.
But I mean, my whole, like me, my brother and my sister were all, in the art world.
Yeah.
Yeah. We just couldn't get away from it, I guess.
I hear you.
Were you guys like, because I'm sure you guys were illustrating early, and I want to go back to the MJ doc in just a second, but because growing up, I was one of the better illustrators in my class, and it gained me a lot of attention, but you guys having like that skill level set in front of you early on, were you guys just like nasty in third grade?
I wouldn't say nasty. We're definitely like I was definitely like the artistic kid in the class. Like I was the kid who could draw a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah. But I wouldn't say nasty. We're all right.
Bro, you were saying you were going like, yeah, I was. I saw you nodding your head.
It was good. It was good.
We were all yeah. We were all the class artists though, but
yeah, for sure.
He's being a little
But going back to MJ, because this whole documentary not only applies to like everything that we kind of speak about on a daily basis, but it's a lot of new stuff, at least for me, because born in '89, I wasn't really necessarily conscious for a lot of the stuff that's going on in this. But you guys being a little older, is some of this stuff new to you that's in the doc? Now, I know, Raph, you haven't seen it, but just like speaking about MJ stuff in general, like I didn't know that like Rodman ended up going to Vegas for like a week and shit to get away. I didn't know about Scottie Pippen's like weird contract shit. Like, was there any of this stuff new to you guys? Or maybe like Raph, if you've heard through the media or whatever, people, what they're talking about?
I feel like I wasn't like reading the paper.
Right, yeah.
You know, I wasn't reading the sports section. So like all my knowledge of like, or memories of all that stuff was just, you know, watching games, watching championships and stuff like that. It wasn't, the commercials and the sneakers and stuff like that. But all like I guess whatever the drama is and all these like insider stories, I would have not known any of those. Yeah. To be honest, I don't know about my brother. He's 2 years older, so he might have some kind of memory.
The Pippen part was definitely new to me. You know, he was always like the Robin to the Batman to me. I never knew he got paid. What number?
7 years, 18 million.
Nuts. That's crazy.
Wait, what is it? I don't get it. What's the story on that?
He had like he made an early deal for like a 7-year contract, but for $18 million when, you know, later on the contracts inflated so much that like $18 million was nothing to even like look at.
Okay.
So like during the championship years, he was getting paid dog shit while Mike and all them were pioneering, basically paving the way for this legacy to happen.
Ah, shit.
He was basically getting paid a dishwasher salary, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those $18 million dishwashers.
Yeah, a really high-end dishwasher.
It's the highest end of dishwasher.
I think something you saw that was interesting to me is a lot of the stuff that flew under the radar, you know, 25, 30 years ago was because of no social media. So like, you know, Jordan going to Atlantic City during the playoff game, or, you know, him and, you know, Slim Buller, or like, you know, the golf guy who took some money, like all of that stuff. It was known. I remember, you know, obviously growing up in Brooklyn at the time, I remember the Atlantic City trip. But if this was in 2019, him going to Atlantic City, the amount of people with phones and all that shit, it would have been magnified a million times. I think that's one of the takeaways to me.
Yeah.
And I think just obviously a lot of the stuff, you know, it's if you follow the game or if you're like hardcore, you will know a lot of it. But I feel like there are certain things that are very they were very interesting, like the Dream Team stuff. You know, obviously you knew Magic and Bird were at the end of their careers. You know, but the Isaiah Thomas stuff is always a refresher. And I mean the documentary obviously feels like it's being told through Michael Jordan's lens.
For sure.
Like there's certain things he goes into, but you can also tell there's certain things that, you know, have been shied away from to me.
Do you think we're gonna finally get some dead dad issues?
That's what I'm waiting for.
That's what we're all waiting for. We're all waiting to see if they're gonna talk.
I'm waiting for that. Yeah, waiting for that, and I'm waiting for the flu game. They haven't touched on that yet.
Yes.
The dead father stuff is really interesting because, you know, from what I read afterwards, when like years later, there was like some rumors that Jordan Pops had like molested allegedly one of Jordan's sisters. So it's like you don't really, like this is all allegedly stuff that I read,
never heard that.
Yeah.
Wow.
See, that's what I'm saying. So it's kind of weird, like, you know, like you don't hear anything from his ex-wife Juanita. Like you haven't, like she was the one who was with Jordan every night, you know, or, you know, with them all the time. So, you know, those are very like important pieces that like you really just haven't been touched on.
Yeah. Do you think we're gonna get it this week? Because they've been touching on the gambling stuff. Like the past couple weeks, they've been touching on it. You know,
how many episodes are they slotted for? Like
10.
There's 2 every Sundays, and there's 10 total. So we got 4 left. And I guess that the last 2 weren't finished when they started airing these because they pushed the date up. So I think they're finishing it up now as like the time goes on. So we got 4 more episodes left, with 2 probably just being finished now.
Okay.
Ooh.
Maybe I'll just wait.
Just binge it all one day.
No, you gotta watch
binge it all in one day. Because it's not going to get onto Netflix until like July or something.
There's already it's online somewhere. Like I found a couple episodes from my roommates who had missed it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's worth catching up.
I definitely want to know about the gambling stuff more, the dead dad stuff, but I like the little like hidden ones we get in there, like the flag hiding the Reebok shit.
Yes.
That one was good.
That was good.
Because that shit, like, I never understood why he was the only one wearing the flag on his short for the Dream Team photo shit. But then when he was like, yeah, fuck Reebok, I didn't want them to fucking get promo off me. But now, because he said that in the documentary, they're re-releasing the jacket.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, so it's kind of like a delayed help.
Are you copying that, Cheney?
No, I can't. Look, I wear loud shit, but I can't do overly red, white, and blue.
The all black one.
That's true. That one I might be able to do.
I would get that jacket, yo. That jacket sounds fire, yo. Like
tight.
I would wear.
I gotta see it.
Hold on, Luke. Do you have the link up? Can you share the screen?
I'm looking it up right now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. Yep.
We're all looking at it. Oh, yeah, that's pretty loud.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little much for me. The only way people wear that shit if it has a Supreme logo on it. You know what I mean? Like any other that loud without a box logo, no one fucks with it.
I wonder if they're gonna do it in like a 90s cut with like the wide ass sleeves.
Yeah, right. Gymnast cut.
Actually, no, I think I got it for hold on one second, just so we get a visual for the screen. Oh no,
I got it right here. They put it on the left side because Jordan put it on the right side, right? They covered the
yeah,
the
I think they flipped
side.
it.
They flipped it so that as like an extra little fuck you. It's great.
Well, it looks like it released on May 8th for $80. So so I'm guessing it's got to be sold out already.
No way.
Damn.
If you keep going down, there should be a link somewhere. Or maybe
the only way Reebok sells out of anything is if it's related to Michael Jordan.
Oh, of course.
It's kind of sad.
Can't go here.
You know what else was very interesting to me too, in terms of how huge of an entity Nike is now, in terms of athletes wearing their sneakers and being under the Nike brand, from LeBron to Kevin Durant to all of these major basketball players. And in the 80s, I mean, they were a distant third before Michael Jordan. There was Converse, there was Adidas, and then you had Nike as this upstart company. And Jordan even talks about how he did not want to go to Nike.
Yeah.
And how would that change the course of history if there's no Jordan on Nike, or even if Tinker doesn't hit us with the Jordan 3 to keep Michael from really wanting to leave, because the first two, like Tinker got the 3s, the 4s, like he designed those sneakers. So there's so many different key pieces that made the history of Nike and Jordan just all meshed together.
And even that, like, kind of, I don't know, that weird, like, back and forth with Nike and Jordan is, like, it's telling of the entire history of Nike in general, because they had so much trouble with Onizuka. They had so much trouble with they had so much trouble with, like, Onizuka. They had trouble with, like, they had trouble with everybody. And they're, like, everything was, like, a close call. Like, Nike, if there's, like, an alternate universe, like, 1 over where Nike doesn't exist,
I made this like board just to see what it would look like. I just put the 3 stripes on the 1, and it's clearly not as good, but that silhouette is just so strong that it's still not a bad shoe.
Still not a bad shoe.
That ain't it.
It looks like a top 10.
It does look like a top 10.
It does look like a top 10. It looks like some ponies, and I know it's got the stripes on it. For some reason, they look like ponies.
That was crazy how he wore them back in the Garden, though, even though his feet were bleeding. I didn't know that either.
Yeah.
That was a crazy story, too.
They were like a size and a half too small, and fucking he still played in them.
That's why he's the GOAT.
All right, so you guys now, after enough Jordan talk, now you got to tell us your favorite Jordan shoe. That for as guests, you got to let us know so we can judge you based on your taste.
What's that?
Your favorite Jordan?
Shoot, I'd have to say fours.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. Fours.
Yeah, I mean that's the first one I had. I had fours. So I think just I never had them growing up, but the cement ones, like the white and gray.
Yeah,
I have them now because I'm an adult. But yeah, those ones.
I think
Lawrence, were you going to say something?
No. I'm sorry. I was just kind of just talking about this back to this jacket that it is sold out on Reebok's website. They do have a black and silver version of that, which is still available. So
yeah, I just
all right, word.
So cop it, Cheney.
No.
Be that guy.
Come on.
No.
You're only one. You're only one with Reeboks right now.
See,
you're the whitest guy.
Echo office used to bust my balls about wearing Reeboks every fucking day. You guys were relentless.
I got nothing but I got like Reeboks stacked underneath my desk right now.
Yeah. See?
You know me.
Yeah.
But you're the whitest guy here. You're the most American. That's it's a little scary if you get the white. You know what? Maybe it's a better call. You're right.
Yeah,
right.
I can't do it.
You can't do it. People will start thinking you want to go back outside.
I can't show too much pride.
Yeah. You're right.
Oh, that's fucking great, though.
Speaking of Jordans, there was some images of a new Fire Red 3.
Oh yeah.
That normally on a Jordan 3, a 4, or 5, or a 6, there's either Nike Air on the back or there's a Jumpman logo. But the good people at Jordan Brand decided that it would be a great idea to put both of them on the back and a translucent sole and translucent back.
Yeah.
And it is.
I gotta see these.
Yes.
Oh.
Damn, they're running out of ideas.
Yeah.
Last week we were talking about the Nike. Basically, we all came to the conclusion that the Nike Air is always better than the Jumpman. But yeah, they're trying to cheat, and this is dog shit.
Yeah, this is.
Is that Air?
It's one of those 80%er things I was telling you about.
Right.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah. For the people who aren't in the Discord, who should join the Discord first of all. But what's the 80-20 thing?
No, I was just always saying that when people are want something, I guess people want these Fire Red Jordan 3s, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Nike will put out something that's 80% what they want.
Mm-hmm.
They'll put these out.
Yeah, this came out of a discussion about the Vaseline ones.
Yeah,
I remember that.
Yeah.
They'll get you right to the point where it's like, I guess I'll still buy it, and then I'll also still wait to buy what I really want down the line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're sneaky.
So that is something we've definitely discussed on this podcast with where, like you said, on a 3 they'll put a Jumpman on the tab, but then on the bottom they'll put Nike, or they'll never give you everything you truly want. And that is and to me that is the work of a gentleman named Gentry Humphrey, who is he's back at Jordan Brand, and he left the line in 2011, and he came back 7 years later, and now we're getting these retros that are giving you something, but they're not giving you everything. And I've gone on record plenty of times on this podcast as saying that after when he left, we started getting Nike Air on the back of sneakers. We started getting Jordan 1s. They started coming back out with the Nike Air on. We started getting what people really wanted. And for a sneaker, the Fire Red 3s, that so many people have clamored for, they want, you're getting this, like you said, this science project that is just, it is what it is.
There was an attempt.
Yeah. But I mean, I don't know, it's smart on their end, I guess, because it's people will buy it, and they just can't keep retroing like the originals. every year or whatever, you know?
Yeah.
Kind of, they got to space it out. And they got to
Are you guys still really buying sneakers like that?
I mean,
you were talking about how you got a bunch of Reeboks under your desk, you know, and I know I'm back when we were in the office, bro, you were always buying like the pair of like the new tech and stuff, trying to keep up at least.
I did. I'm older now. I have a house. I need furniture. You know, that's kind of where my money goes to. But you know, I still look at sneakers. I'm kind of like off the Nike thing right now. It's a little, you know, I want like some New Balances.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's my shit right now. Yeah. I love the
little
dub
Steve
taps.
Jobs.
Yeah, you seen those dub tap ones?
Yeah, I have. They're very nice.
Yeah, the military with a little hint of orange. Those things are going for like over 1,000 on StockX right now, though. So I can't. You know, I caught a big fat L on those. But yeah, sneakers. You know, that's kind of like. But we're on the totem pole now.
Yeah.
You're just gonna keep going with the dad shit.
And I got
more on the dad angle.
Dude, I pulled out a bunch and they all started crumbling. So I'm like, why am I even, you know, holding on to these?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not mad at them for like retroing stuff because all the old stuff is done. It's like dust. You gotta, you know, bring those back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Raph, what about you? Are you buying sneakers like that? Oh, sorry. I know you can go.
Oh no, I wanted to ask both of you guys a question. Since you know you like you said you were, you know, you're still in the sneakers. Obviously, that love never goes away. Yeah. But you know, there's certain sneakers that obviously that make comebacks, and 2020 obviously seems like the year of the dunk. And we just recently saw where a pair of Paris SB sold for like $50,000. And it's like, what the fuck? Like, those are sneakers, you know, 12 years ago you can get for, you know, $1,500. I mean, and even that is, you know, a crazy amount, but $50,000 for a pair of sneakers.
I gotta Google this.
Yeah.
I mean, those were crazy rare when they first came out too. You know, those and the Futuras and the Pigeons, those are all kind of like those top tier SBs that nobody could pull off yet. Those.
That?
Yeah, these.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, these guys.
Ooh.
What's the graphic on it? That's
like an illustration. It's a Paris stuff.
Paris stuff.
Paris.
Like some French shit. You know, it's like a croissant or something. Yeah. There's something on there.
I don't know.
All right,
French fries.
$50,000.
French fries.
Yeah,
Wait, they sold for that, or they just?
Yeah, they sold for 50K. Let's see.
That's what
I don't know who buys any of this shit.
Do you think like someone, like some head dude at StockX is just buying it just to?
Oh, just to inflate prices?
Just to bring the dunk back?
I do think some of this is attributed by brands just rebuying stuff that they don't have anymore. Like if they go in the archive and they're like, oh shit, we don't have any Paris dunks anymore. There's got to be a guy at Nike buying this shit. I mean, when I was at Reebok, they were kind of doing that. It wasn't to the capacity I'm sure that these guys have to, but.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy. It's not worth it.
But you see all these SBs that, you know, were obviously slept on or, you know, under the radar or even, and now it's just, it's at a point where it's like, it's that bubble that we always talk about. And it's like, how long before this bubble burst? You know, it was maybe 5 years ago, it was Jordan 1s where that bubble was so, you know, insane. And I just wanted to ask you guys, like, you know, I mean, you see that and you're like, where does this end?
I mean, I see the hype for dunks happening right now, but I don't see. Do you see people wearing them? I see the off-white ones once in a while, but.
I don't see the strange loves for sure. I don't see those going around.
Well, it's also hard to it's hard to see anybody wear anything when we can't really leave our house.
Yeah, it's hard to remember.
Yeah, like I'm trying to think the times I've been in the grocery store. I don't think anyone's really been like but I don't know. Maybe they're waiting for it to get nice out again.
No, I live in the suburbs, bro. Everybody's just wearing sandals.
I've been wearing the same sneakers this whole time.
I mean,
me too.
One pair.
Yeah.
And I leave them outside my door because I don't want to like track stuff in.
Yep.
So it's they just sit in my hallway. So it's like beaters.
I actually did purchase some new. Well, they're new to me, but I did buy quarantine shoes. Do you guys remember the ones with the plate on the bottom?
No, you didn't.
He bought soaps.
Soap shoes? Soap shoes?
Yep.
Yeah, bro. So I got these on Saturday. Yes, I got them yesterday, and I put them on, and they were tight. And I went to take out the padding on the inside to see if I can get them out, and they crumbled immediately.
Oh, they're
That's
old.
how old they were. Yeah, so I have
Oh.
no insole, but they fit now. And I'm going to tell you guys, I'm about to bust my ass trying to grind on some shit.
Dude, there's like some crazy documentary about the inventor of those.
Oh, really?
I think. Yeah, I think my coworkers were mentioning it. Yeah, you got to check it out. The dude's like a wacko.
Damn, I'm going to try to put it in the description if I find it. Yeah, but, yo, I was with my girl. We were going to the grocery store. I put these on. And I was grinding on shit. She's like, I can't be seen near you if you're going to do this.
That's like my brother.
I'm just this.
What? Oh, yeah. At Echo, I had a pair of Heelys.
Oh, fuck
yeah, you
dude.
did.
Yeah,
you roll into the Xerox machine and back.
Yeah, the printer was mad far. So I just bust those out to get to the printer.
Oh, hell yeah. I'm with that 100%. That's the move.
The Echo office was not like a normal office by any means.
No.
Like, it's still one of the craziest places I ever worked. Like, even Ro had this bit, he would scare this one girl, Rochelle, and she would scream so loudly, you'd think there'd be a murder going. It would happen like at least.
That's when Vine was big.
Vine days, yeah.
Oh. You
I
dropped
to find those, yeah. They got to be on my hard drive somewhere. I told her I was going to bring those back, but yeah. It was so good.
There would be piles of samples that we would jump out of.
Oh, that's
out of clothing racks, out of samples, yeah. I bring my dog in just to scare
her. Wait, so people I used to work with have come on and they've given me like one good Echo story. Now I don't need you to necessarily dry snitch on anybody, but is there one maybe before I got there, like a good story you could tell us? I talked about how someone wanted to kidnap Lloyd Banks.
Oh, no, we had silly ones. Ours were just like fucking when there would be like celebrities coming in, like they would have to use the bathroom. We would like write like funny shit in the stall.
See, I only have the tragic ones where. I only have the ones where like someone suggested someone needed to get murdered at some point. Like I don't have any of these fun ones.
Yeah.
Other than like Rose scaring Rochelle.
That was like a different era.
Kendrick Lamar. Remember when he was in the office with all of TDE?
Mm-hmm.
And Seth was trying to sell him on his own line and giving him like all his designs or whatever. Dude just fell asleep right in front of Seth. It was the best, dude. I don't even know who Kendrick Lamar was back then, but props for that. That was.
I remember when we met Meek. Meek came in for Dream Chasers.
Yeah, Meek.
And he was riding around with a Razor scooter.
Yeah. He was like, "Yo, I want 10 of these for my house." I'm like, dude, you could dream a little higher. Who else was there? Big Sean. Big Sean was there, and he was talking about his new song with Justin Bieber.
He came in and he gave everybody a hug.
Yeah, super nice guy. Big Sean.
That's some big.
Oh wait, I was there when Big Sean was there. I think.
Yeah. No, wait. No. It was in the older office.
No, because he came in before, but he came in with Rory before I knew who Rory was, and now he's on Joe Budden's podcast.
Oh, Rory was in the office?
Yeah, he was like not his manager, but he did something where like he would communicate with him or some shit.
Okay. Yeah, those are all funny stories.
There was like a weird different era. There was like eras too, like because when it was on 23rd Street, it was just like it was just Echo and like G Unit, you know. So it was like 50, like stories like 50, and then once we moved to another building, they started doing the collabs for like Meek Mill.
And Complex is in the building.
Yeah, Complex was in that, you know. And then when it got to the building that I met you in, it was just all kinds of craziness. It was like
we were on top of a DHL storage building.
Yeah, with the rooftop. I was only there for I think a year, and then I dipped.
You remember when Kanye was there?
Yeah, I remember Kanye.
A shoe for him. It was like based off an old Nike ACG and it had the bear logo on the bottom.
You talking to me?
I don't know if any of you guys were there actually.
I wasn't there.
Kimu was working on that. Yeah. And then him and Consequence performed. Remember?
No, I remember that. I remember that day.
Yeah.
I remember like I think it was Consequence's album was just dropping or something, and they did a live performance in the office in like the showroom. I remember Consequence had some Jordan 4s and they were choked up super tight. That's like, geez, let those breathe.
Yeah, I hear stories like this and I get so mad that I started working there at that time.
That's weird. That's like, I always think about these things. It's like I always get into companies, like not when they're like underground, like, when you talk about people, it's like, yeah, I was with Supreme when they first started and stuff. I always get into companies when they're like, they just got the money. So it's like, shit is fun. And then, and then you're there and then you're with them as they go like, they're getting less money. But it's what it is.
Yeah, I seem to tap onto sinking ships and hold on too tight.
Mm-hmm.
I was there with you.
Yeah. We both bounced, and then how long were you there afterwards?
I was one of the last. Like I wasn't Caruana last, but I was there after. I was there through another hiring and firing.
Okay, crazy.
Which was only like a year. Like it wasn't even that long.
Now you guys mentioned a lot of rappers. I did have a question for you, and because this is a big story that happened this week. Tekashi 6ix9ine just dropped. He's back.
He's back.
And he puts out an Instagram live, with him, and he's getting 2 million followers and 2 million viewers, and he dropped a single, and I just want to know, like, what's going? I mean, obviously, like I said, I'll never, he snitched, he did what he did. I'm not going to be the person who's going to be like, this kid is a rat. He's taking advantage of, to me, what the industry and what people are doing. He's providing them a product. But did you guys watch it? Did you guys think anything of it?
I only saw like little clips that people have been posting on like their Instagram stories and stuff, but it looked colorful.
Yeah.
I don't know how people feel about these things. Like the generation of people who like listening to like hip hop now. Like I don't think they care about people who are like, rats or whatever, snitches and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like they don't care about ghostwriters and
mm-hmm.
things like that. It's like it's a different generation. So when I see people like, oh, why are you fucking with his music? It's like, I mean, I don't know. That's like a newer generation, I guess.
He kind of has this weird attachment to him, sort of like, I don't want to compare him to like what Supreme is, but like when people say 6ix9ine, it's like the brand name of modern rap. And I don't think really I don't even really know how to describe it. He's like this weird TMZ version of a superstar rapper. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think it's just more of like, it's similar to a Kardashian, I think. Like no one really knows why they follow him, but he's entertaining, so they do. And no matter how many things are wrong with the situation, they're like, well, he's just what we're following right now. So I guess that's it. Like, I don't even know how to describe it.
I never thought his music sounded bad though. When it came out, it sounded, I mean, it was sounding a little bit refreshing of like what was out at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was loud. It was kind of like in your face. I was talking to my brother about this the other day because we were listening to Griselda. I think he was listening to the new West Side Gun or something. We were just talking about like how that kind of like hard shit is coming back.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's kind of cool, I was wondering, I was like, who owns the rights to like do like that's, I'm like, someone needs to put some rights on that and they can just make millions.
But I definitely think he's talented and he's controversial, which sells. And I mean, this is a huge thing. I mean, obviously, it's almost, I mean, the fact that he's embracing what he did and he's like, I did this, there was a point in the video, his music video, where he has an umbrella and he covers his face and then he lifts the umbrella up and it's like a Snapchat filter of a rat like taking over his face.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just That's crazy, man.
Well, how
I mean,
has he lost any of his cosigns? Like
yeah,
is
all
50
of
still
them,
fucking with him?
basically.
all of them.
Yeah.
But no, he still gets a 2 million viewed Instagram story, like the highest live they've ever had. So he doesn't need him anymore. He made his own cosign, I guess.
So I was reading before this podcast started. There's an alleged story, and once again, you know, things change. But allegedly, he's supposed to be signing with Jay-Z's Rock Nation. And I don't want to sit here and be like that's 100% true.
What?
But reportedly, once again, I don't know. You know, obviously next week we may know a little bit more, but I mean, no,
I
gotta see it to believe that one. That one is way out there.
Get out of the
Bro, you've been
giant
shaking
house?
your head the whole time.
I just like the memes. I just want to see more people transform into rats.
Yeah, the memes are good.
The memes are good.
He's a walking meme. That's why he's
He
entertaining.
That's what it is.
Jay-Z once said, "What men lie, women lie, numbers don't." And if you could do 2 mil on Instagram and sell all this shit, I don't know.
Oh man.
Ooh.
So
I don't know. It's weird because like it's similar but different to things like R. Kelly, and I know that's a weird comparison, but it's like, do you separate? Don't do that. Shut up. Let me get to my point. Hold on. It's like, do you separate the person from the music? Because like Raph, like what you said, I like the music, but I'm not really kind of like with what he's about and what he's doing.
But I mean, do you care? Like, if someone's a rat, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like we're not like the thing is we're not in the game.
No.
Does it really matter to us? You know?
I mean, you would think by principle, because I know snitching is like garnered as like this weird gang thing, but snitching is all over the place. Like I grew up with my dad going like, "Yo, don't like if you're gonna tell on your sister, like don't be so like a rat, like don't be a snitch. Like what do you like? You know, you could figure out other ways to do this." So I grew up with like going like, "Oh, don't tell on people." So it's similar, but I'm in a white suburban neighborhood having nothing to do with this gang related shit. So by principle, I'm kind of like, I don't really like it.
Dude. I'm honestly worried for that dude because you know you got people like Pop Smoke, XXX. You know.
That's true. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, like how long can you play this role? I mean, you get $2 million now, but how long is that gonna last? How long are you gonna be around? You know, I don't want me to bring it all down, but that dude he's fucking with the wrong people.
I know. I totally agree with you. I mean, yesterday there was, I guess, some girl. She saw Tekashi. Like, I guess they were in Long Island, and she found out where he lived, and then she posted it on her like, and then so stuff like this. It's like this kid is not trying to be in witness protection, and he's trying to live a normal life, and it's like how long can that that last? Not and I agree with you, Ross. It's not like bringing it down. It's just being real. Like, how long can this go on?
Yeah, because even with the video, he's like provoking. It's very like provocative.
Yeah.
Like, come get me.
Mm-hmm.
It has that vibe to it for sure.
I gotta see this video. It's a full video.
Yeah, it's for the song.
Yeah, it's like 3 minutes, like 3-minute video?
It kind of looks like he bought an empty house and just like fucked it up for the video.
No, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't know.
I mean, whatever. It's cool. It's entertaining,
Yeah.
It's entertaining, yeah.
And once again, we're all grown men, in our 30s, except for Luke. But I mean,
Just a young man.
Just young Luke, and so obviously we've seen the Pac, the Biggie, like the Wu-Tang, like Nas, like all of that East Coast rap. We've seen how it was, and now you see how it is now, and it's kind of like I don't want to ever be that old dude who's yelling at like the kids to get off my lawn. Like it's like, all right, like if this is
you're already that guy, dude.
Nah. You know why? Because I try to fuck with the young. I try to listen to the younger music and just try. I mean, once again, I don't understand it all, but I get it.
Yeah.
I don't know. So I mean, I guess I like Tekashi. I think he's entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
It's a real problem because I don't want to necessarily associate myself with him, but I do want him in my playlist in some respect.
Yeah.
I don't think I have him in my playlist though. That's a little too loud.
Scare your dog?
I'll listen. I'll watch a video. I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool, but I don't know. I can't be walking down the street with that.
When I was still at Spray Grounds, they wanted to do a bag with him, but then Raekwon said if we did a bag with him, he wouldn't collab with us.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I had already done. We picked Raekwon.
Oh, that's surprising.
Mostly because
you're trying to sell backpacks. You're not trying to sell,
And you know what? The bag isn't even out yet. I don't think they even made the Raekwon bag because I did the bag. I haven't seen it. I pay attention.
Oh, yeah.
I love Raekwon, but if I was trying to sell some backpacks,
yeah,
I might have gone the other way.
Oh, it's so easy. You just do the different colored teeth for the shark.
It's
right there. It's a
all the zippers could be different colors.
It's so
it's
easy.
a layup, dude.
I think Raekwon was speaking for most of the elder rap community. I don't think he would. I think he said if you do this with him, I don't think anyone's gonna. I don't know exactly what.
I'm sure that's more of the vibe of it. I'm like, it's drawing a line in the sand, I guess.
I guess when you're a member of Wu-Tang, you can speak for all of rap.
True.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I real quick, I do have a question for both of you guys. Obviously with COVID going on, and you normally work in an office space, correct? Or
yes.
I work at home.
You work at home, okay. Raphael, you said that, right? You work at home.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, how much different do you think, especially like you being on the West Coast? Like, do you think like in terms of when you're able to at least, will you want to go back to the office? Like, how will things change? Because I know like everything is like turned upside down right now.
Yeah. I mean, I've been fortunate enough to still be working, so I'll be going back on the 18th. And, it's going to be a requirement that you wear the mask. We can't be in close proximity with anybody. We got to be 6 feet apart, all the desks. They're handing out like little kits with hand sanitizer. It's going to be a while before anyone touches it, gives each other any handshakes or anything like that. So I don't know. I'm not going to be touching anybody. I know that for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have to go back or do you have the option to work from home?
It's optional. Because some of the schools are closed too. So if you have,
true.
responsibilities or, people are sick, you don't have to, but they're slowly starting to open everything up. I mean, I just came back from driving to pick up some food and the streets is, everyone's out. I don't know how it is in New York. Yeah, but everyone's out.
There's definitely people, like whenever the weather's nice, like today, it's like there's people loitering outside the bars. Like the bars are selling beers. So in my neighborhood, people are just like drinking outside. No masks. I mean, they have the masks like over, like under their chin, but they're all just loitering outside. And like right down, like I live next to an avenue, which is like all bars. So it's like pretty much the whole avenue is just out.
I don't know about you guys, but I get really annoyed when the guys don't cover their nose with the mask. Yeah. To me, it's like wearing underwear, but then having your dick out.
Yeah. I was going to say something to the dude who was like cutting my cheese at the grocery.
Hey.
He was like slicing my cheese. I was about to be like, yo, man. But then I also like, he's like an essential worker. Can't be like busting his chops.
Yeah.
What do you guys think? Is there going to be a second wave or like?
Oh, for sure. I think for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's going to be a second wave. I mean,
people are fucking up already.
Yeah, for sure.
I
mean, I think I said this last week, but I was in Fort Greene like a week and a half ago, and it was like fucking Mardi Gras during in New Orleans. People just drinking on the street, hammered, sun's still out. I was like, we're never getting out of this. People keep doing this shit.
Yeah.
Especially, I think New York City is going to be is very interesting because of the amount of people and how packed they are on top of each other. At least in California, it's a lot different. I have friends in Cali. It's a lot, open. A lot, you're driving. You're not as on top of people.
Exactly.
But in New York, it's kind of like fuck. Like you are going to have to reopen, and you see people being completely frustrated at at a situation where they're not able to kind of resume some sort of normalcy. But at the same time, it's like you said, what are you going to do? You're going to go back into the office and be packed on top of each other, get back on the subway. Like, there's got to be something, and who knows? I mean, I just saw in Korea where there was one dude, he infected like a whole bunch of people, and then they just shut down every club in Seoul again because of one dude.
Right.
One nightclub, 2,100, a bunch of nightclubs because of one guy. So, who knows?
Yeah. So, Ro, you have an extra room in your house? I can get out of here and avoid it.
I got you. Yeah, we got the guest room ready. Bring all your Reeboks.
I think we're kind of at a point where we can start to wrap this up. Is there any last thoughts or topics from you guys, Luke or El?
I feel like just because we're a sneaker show, we should talk about them. The Off-White, the Dunks.
Oh yeah.
Oh, not the rubber dunks. Yeah.
Rubber dunks. Those sewer covers that they made into shoes. Yeah.
Yes.
Are those a new like silhouette, or is it a remake of something?
They look like they're parts of a bunch of different shoes.
Yeah, it definitely does. Yeah.
I've never seen that one specifically, but it looks like it's something that they either revamped or it doesn't look like that's a lot of new shit there.
Dude, he's like throwing a bunch of ideas on one thing. It's a dunk sole with an air bubble.
Mm-hmm.
Is that why it's called a dunk? Because there's the dunk sole?
Yeah, I think so.
The rest of it doesn't look like a dunk.
No. It looks like he mismatched a lot. Like, I don't know, other than the sole and like only the toe area part of the sole, it looks like a dunk that I recognize.
The thing is, the dunk sole's the same as the Air Jordan sole, isn't it?
Yeah, right.
So why wouldn't they be a Jordan 1?
I think the tooling on the bottom is a little different, but I can't be sure. I don't want to go on record saying that, but I think they're different enough where
the yellow ones aren't bad. I think those are kind of cool.
Cheney's very anti-yellow sneakers, but I agree.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, they look like bananas on your feet. I mean, with these with the black sole, it looks kind of normal, but I mean, you still look like you have banana feet.
Nah, I don't know. I like yellow. You know what reminds me of? I was thinking about this when you sent it to me earlier. You guys might be too young for it, but back when I was a kid, there was this cartoon called Centurions.
Centurions.
That name sounds familiar.
So Centurions.
Oh yeah.
And it looks like all three of the guys. Like the colorway.
Shit.
Wait, Luke, you got it up? Throw it on screen.
I got it. Hold on. Look at this shit. Bro.
Oh yeah.
Bro, he's just doing Centurions, man. That's nuts. Look at these guys.
That's pretty funny.
That's great.
I mean, it's like land,
attachment. It was land, sea, and like air.
Oh hell yeah!
I'm showing my age right now.
I'm all for it.
Okay, like the more I look at them, they're growing on me. Yeah, I don't know about the gum sole on the silver. That looks kind of weird.
Love gum sole.
We were talking about the gums.
I love gum sole.
We didn't like
on
the
white. But how that's broken up with the blue air bubble on the gum soles, kind of came to see that. But yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, Raph, is this the first time you've seen those?
Yeah. I mean, when you sent it to me earlier today.
I'm just seeing them now.
Yeah. There's something that
kind of like an air trainer too, right?
The bubble reminds me of something. I can't put my finger on it. Almost like, actually, it looks like one of those hang tags. You know, like when you have like a plastic thing and you put it like on the little rods in like the store.
Yeah, the hanger.
I don't know how
it has like a weird tearaway piece on it.
Oh yeah, it does.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Wow.
Is this his first kind of like original? Like original silhouette for Nike?
I mean, it's kind of arguable because I don't really know where he pulled this from or if he changed anything on it. But I mean,
okay.
I mean, you don't count the Vapor Streets and all. No, those are. I would say this is one of the first.
Yeah, it's probably his most original out of all of them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't hate it. I can see people wearing it.
Oh, definitely people are gonna wear these without a shadow of a doubt, man.
Is that like the word on the street? Like people are feeling them, or
I think we've come to understand that anything that Nike and Virgil have collabed on is people are going to flock to it. It's been this way.
There hasn't been a miss. There hasn't been a miss yet.
You can't miss when you check all the hype boxes.
Yeah.
Like no matter what he makes, it will hit the hype level just because of all the boxes he hits. The name, the train that he's already on, it's the momentum, it's all that shit. He's not going to really come up with a necessarily bad shoe.
Yeah.
Lawrence, I think, has one.
I was gonna say we can say that. I'm gonna say that the Vapor Streets and the Tigers, they weren't, they were kind of misses, but they still people.
Yeah, they still sold out. They still
sold.
They wear them. It's not. But I understand. Like that was the only argument I would make too. Is like the Vapor Streets or the Tigers, because it's just like those are, they're good shoes. But people like those shoes a lot. I don't personally like them, but there are people who seem to wear them.
When you think of Virgil and Off-White, you obviously think of the 10. That's the first thing that comes to your mind, which all of those were, done well. These rubber dunks, like I said, I still think because, and once again, where we're at in terms of 2020 with dunks and all this, just the fact that it has that name attached to it, they're gonna fly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wait, Ro, is the Off-White stuff over in Cali kind of hitting? Because here it's huge, obviously. But what do you see that kind of stuff from West Coast?
Yeah, I do. It's mostly, I don't want to stereotype, but when I went to
stereotype. But stereotype. Yeah, big time.
Yeah, mostly Asian people wearing it.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah. When I went into Japan, everyone was Chinese that was rocking.
Yeah, the Chinese love.
Not even Japanese people.
They love it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I work at Midtown Comics during the daytime, so I'll see tourists all the time, and it's always if you see a Chinese family come in, they're Chinese because they're wearing Off-White everything. They look like a checkerboard. They just walk in all wearing. Somebody's wearing Balenciaga. They all go for the big designer brands. That's why, and they just love Off-White for some reason.
Yeah.
Off-White, Balenciaga. Yeah.
That's the uniform.
That's the uniform.
You got the Off-White top, the skinny ass jeans that are way too tight, and then the Balenciaga is arguably bigger than the jeans.
Exactly. That big. It's the move.
It's a look.
It's the look.
I back it. I'm looking at these Vapor Streets and these.
Yeah.
The Tigers. They remind me of back when I was running track and
yeah, exactly.
People would they would be these indoor track shoes, so they would have the spikes on, the rubber spikes, and you're not really supposed to wear them just walking around because I think it'll fuck up your feet. But they were so cool looking back then that people would do that. They would just wear or they would take the track spikes and they'll unscrew the track spike and just wear that. So that you can hear them clickety clacking sometimes.
Well, I think that can kind of wrap this one up. Unless was there anything else?
451s.
Which one's?
Oh yeah, did you guys see those? The new Yeezy. There's a sample came out. It looks like he stepped in some shit that a venom is on the bottom of his shoe.
No, bro. It looks like snake skin. Like a snake shedded skin.
No, it looks like venom is taking over his shoe from the bottom.
Oh yeah, I guess.
That's what you call I remember when I was working in clothes. It's it has no hanger appeal.
Yeah.
It doesn't have.
And because these would hang from a hanger.
It's I don't know. That's I wonder how they feel.
On feet.
I liked these when we first saw them a while ago because they were firmer and they looked like honestly an old school Reebok that I would wear. Those ones right there, the blue, black, and white ones.
These guys?
Yeah, that's more of my jam, not these ran over old tires.
They remind me of the old actually Adidas basketball shoes.
They look like some a 90s, yes, a 90s.
Yeah, definitely 90s vibe.
Yes.
Cool.
I remember I used to have a pair of Adidas called like the Rat Balls.
Rat balls.
Adidas Rat Ball.
He's just having a good time going down memory lane now.
Yeah, I know. That's like my favorite shit.
Ooh.
They had like a weird sole like that, almost like a. Anyway, whatever.
I got it. These?
Yeah, like where like the soles are like all kinds of like weird
First
shapes.
ones you had, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Those things look a little floppy to me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a little too floppy for me.
But I guess he's just going in the whole, he always goes in the opposite direction. Everyone's into the chunky shit, so he'll go floppy.
Floppy's the wave.
That's true.
That's the type of sneaker that you need to, like your pants need to be a certain skinniness or whatever. You
Yeah,
can't
no baggy jeans on that.
Like, Cheney, you can't wear those.
No, I can't.
They're not for you.
All right.
All right, let's call this a wrap so we can get ready to watch the doc, and maybe Raph, you can watch maybe the first app, start catching up.
I gotta get back to work.
Do you guys have any final thoughts?
No, just thanks for having us.
Can we find you guys anywhere on the internet? Can the listeners locate you?
Probably just on Instagram. My Instagram is oxtails with cocktails, with periods in between.
Nice. And you pop up in the Discord once in a while, so the listeners can already catch you there. Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you, Ro? What do you got?
Instagram at Romeo Rex.
They also both submitted for the New York T-shirt contest.
Oh yeah, we didn't even fucking talk about that.
Shit.
Yeah,
oh my
we got
god,
so into that shit. I totally forgot until now. Like, oh yeah.
Oh yeah. You should buy my shit.
Yeah, wait. I guess
it's for a good cause. It's for a good cause.
Yeah, can you guys one of you guys paraphrase what this was, and then kind of like just quickly talk about where your shirt ideas came from?
Okay. Well, it was started from New York Nico. He's kind of like a huge on Instagram for like New York talent. Well, he hosted this thing that was like best New York accent, like a couple months ago, and it became huge. So then he followed it up by doing trying to ask people to do like best New York T-shirt, and they did it for charity, and it was kind of like a contest. So a bunch of people just entered what they thought would be like a good T-shirt that represented New York. So I did one. A bunch of friends did one. This guy did one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you guys actually got more of the. I don't know if it's just because I'm already friends with you guys on Instagram. My algorithms like catered to the kind of what you post, but a lot of people were posting your stuff versus a lot of the other posts that I saw, at least.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. I mean, he made it to the top 16. So.
Yeah, I mean, Ro got a nice little high snobiety fucking shout out there, right when you click on that shit.
Oh shit.
Yeah. It was crazy. I was like seriously late. I was on West Coast time. You're supposed to have it by 10 o'clock. I was in the shower. I was like, dude, I got no ideas. And then it came to me and I just like fucking typed it up real quick, like looked up an old eye chart. I was trying to play off the whole COVID thing where you got to stand back and, back off me type New York attitude. And the whole idea is I wanted that shit in Canal Street. I wanted it like next to my old crib, next to the like, fuck you, you fucking fucks. And welcome to New York Duck, like that type of shit. That was, I know my design wasn't like streetwear, it wasn't the coolest looking thing, but I had a different agenda and it made it pretty far for what it was.
Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah.
And are you still selling it? You're still doing the pre-order? Or is that done?
Yeah, it's on there. It's on there for, I'm not like big on promotions, but it's up there. It's on Custom Ink, was it?
We'll help you out. I'll get the link from you and I'll put it in the description.
Oh yeah, buy it. There's kid sizes,
And I've been blasting Raphs where I can, so I'll make sure those links get to where they need to be. But yeah, that was the shit. That was cool. I just found out about it because Raph posted you did the chicken one, or like in the pigeon in the chicken box. And I was like, oh shit, my man's just making teas now and shit. Then I started looking, I was like, oh, there's a contest? Like I missed the whole thing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you should have entered, man.
I didn't know, but also I'm from Boston. I don't know if I'm allowed to do that kind of shit.
You've been here long enough. How long you been in New
York?
I mean, no, dude. The two main things I get ripped on, especially by these guys, is the Reeboks and then the Boston shit.
You gotta take the hell out before you design.
A lot of the, like, even after you guys left and the other companies came in, like Wu-Tang and like and A-Life kind of like stayed around and shit, they were basically like, yeah, you're like cool, I guess, but you're from Boston, so we don't really know what to do.
There you go. It comes back to the Celtics.
Yeah, Raph and Rome, thanks for coming on the show. We really appreciate it.
Thank you guys.
Yeah, appreciate you guys.
Yeah,
appreciate it.
So episode 112. At LZD325, at Trevises, not that Cheney, at Subpodcast NYC. We got the email. You can text us on our Google Voice, which is attached to the Instagram, and then the Discord. So, Ro, I'll send you an invite for the Discord too. You gotta hop in.
All right, I'll do that.
Awesome.
All right, cool. All right, thanks, guys. Appreciate you.
Appreciate it. Stay safe.
I'll talk to you guys soon.
All right, later.